Hey y'all, it has been a big weekend. I don't know what you did, but there was a whole lot of news that broke this weekend. First and foremost, everything that is happening in this Nolan Wells case is breaking my heart. One piece of evidence at a time. I can just say to you, hold your children close. This feels a little bit different for different parents, but I think that we can all agree that we want our children to be safe, and we want to know that they're in good company. Send my condolences to that family. It has been a rough go. But speaking of condolences, okay, it's not really on me to really get into conspiracy theories. That's not my thing. Although when I sit up, it is kind of sort of my thing. But I don't like to indulge too much in conspiracy theories. I have this idea of like what really happened in the world, and most of the time I just sit on it and I wait for the news cycle or for something to prove that I'm right. And so far, I'm probably close to batting 100. I say that because Lindsey Graham passed away on Saturday night. And first of all, the way that I heard the news was it was just such a nonchalant announcement. I just saw it on social media. Just a nonchalant, he's gone. And I noticed that throughout the weekend, mostly Sunday because he passed on Saturday night, nobody seemed to really react to that except for Cory Booker. And I don't care about Cory Booker. That's my dive into politics right there. I have never agreed with Lindsey Graham on anything. On anything. No, that's not true. There are some things, but it not in recent years. And quite frankly, I don't like his politics, and I've never been a fan of Lindsey Graham. I'm not celebrating that he's gone. What I am thinking is that it's a little suspect. I did not think that that man was ill on any level. I did not see him fading out on any level, and then he just kicks off. I'm pretty sure that everything is just going to be laid to rest and nobody's going to dig into it. However, I'm not 100% sure that he just passed because he just passed. That's all. That's my conspiracy. I'm not gonna go any deeper into it because to be honest, I don't know. I don't think I want to live a life where at the end, especially a very public life, at the end nobody's that moved by your passing. That doesn't sound like a life well lived. That's all I can say. Obviously, I have way more I could say, but I'm not going to say it. And then, of course, Mitch McConnell's been hanging on for a hot minute, and then on Sunday evening, they're like, "Let's prove he's alive." His wife had flown back into the states, and then they put out this really healthy picture of Mitch McConnell in a I think his shirt was like straight pink with white stripes, and then his wife is sitting next to him. And I thought, that's crazy. He hasn't looked that good in years. In years. But now he's sitting up in the hospital just really just chilling. He's been out for 28 days, but now he's just sitting up in the hospital chilling, hanging out with his wife, chatting it up. I'm not really sure who they think they're talking to and who they're playing with. I just don't feel like the American people really believe it. All you have to say is the man is still alive. Even if he's on a machine, he holds his seat. That's how that goes. All the extra lies to pad it out doesn't even make a lick of sense. Anywho, still big weekend. Conor McGregor broke his leg. I don't know how the break went. I didn't look into it. I just know he broke his leg because I saw one of his competitors say that, "Hey, I'll be the new poster boy for UFC fighting," and I said, "Woo, okay, you're loved. If somebody's gonna sweep in on you that fast, I mean, okay, okay, the leg just broke like a minute ago." A lot of people that like, as far as I'm concerned, don't have a glowing reputation. Uh, but I don't wish ill on them. I just, I don't, I don't have a thought past that. I just don't wish ill on them. You know, I did see an interview, and this is the real conversation I wanted to have for today. This is the official Conversation with Pela. Conversation with Pela that is brought to you by Utah Grown, Utah nope, excuse me, utahgrown.co. That is where you can go for all of the education you need on the medical cannabis industry here in the state of Utah. If you want to become a patient, you can go there and find out if you have a qualifying condition. If you are a healthcare provider and you want answers for your patients, you want to know how you can hand out medical cards, you want to know how you can participate, all of that information is at utahgrown.co. That is the hub for all things in the Utah Medical Cannabis Program. Go there, find out what you need. Okay, so what happened over the weekend? Lunell, and it's very likely that some of y'all don't even know who she is. But Lunell she's a black comedian. She's funny. She's also got a very kind personality. So when she's not on stage and she's just being herself, she always seems to be just like genuinely kind. Like she might make fun of you, she might crack a joke, but at the end of the day, you could feel that there's maybe a little bit of love behind it. It's never to cut you down or hurt you. She showed up to an interview at the radio station. Now I used to work at the radio station, and an interview at 6 o'clock is insane. I would never invite somebody to be awake and ready to go at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. is the time that you're just trying to figure out how you're going to function today, unless your day started at 4 a.m. And then by 6 a.m. you should be going. But if you're inviting somebody in for an interview at 6 a.m., that is a crazy hour. Anyway, Texas station invited her in. She flew into town, and on her way in, she's listening to the station, and at no point do they mention that she's on her way in, that she's got shows going, that anything. There's no promo for her. The only thing that they talk about, I think she said, was Ti. Ti must be playing some shows out there in Texas. I say Texas as if it's like Texas is down the street. I know Texas is huge, and I want to say that they were in Dallas, but I can't. I don't remember for sure if they were in Dallas, so I'm gonna stick with Texas. Anyway, Lunell got in there, and she was just like, I was listening on my way in, which if you work in radio, you know that your guests, if they're coming in, they're listening to you all day. They want to hear what you are going to say about them before they get there. They're trying to think about what they're going to say as soon as they get there. So they're listening. She says that she was listening on her way in and she didn't hear anything about her. She heard about TI, but she didn't hear about her. And she was upset. And the hosts of the radio station were like, well, listen, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to do that. They tried to apologize, and she just wasn't having it. And you know what? Being that I've been on both sides of that equation, she's right. Listen, the whole point, if you are doing an interview, the whole point of having somebody come in is because their status elevates your status in one way or another. When I was in radio and we'd like invite people in, we invited people that nobody knew, right? They're people from the community, but the community that they know knows them. And what we're doing as far as a radio station goes is creating a feel that this is a community driven space. We care about what you're doing, and we're going to promote it, and we're going to make it so that whatever it is that you're doing, people hear about it. That was our responsibility as hosts of a radio station, right? Well, at least that's the way I saw it. I don't know if that's the way everybody perceived it, but that's the way I saw it. And then as somebody coming in, especially somebody who already has an existing reputation, you understand that you're coming in to promote what you're putting out. That's always what it is. You come in for an interview, you're going to be promoting your project. You're going to be talking about all the stuff that you're doing, and you're going to hope that whoever you're talking to, whether it's radio, whether it's television, whether it's a podcast, no matter what, that they are also going to paint you in a good light, or at least give you something that draws attention to the projects you're doing. So Lunell coming in and them having not mentioned her that day at all that she was coming was like a wasted opportunity. It was a wasted opportunity for the radio station to legitimize themselves further, because every single day is an opportunity to legitimize both sides of the equation, to legitimize yourself further. Because the more embedded you are in a community, the more influence you have. That's just the bottom line of it. And the more you promote your project, the more success you will see in people wanting to participate with you in your project. That's just how it goes. But the other side of it, there's a real big business side of it. It's not just about the relationship of reaching across the table and really um, embedding yourself with your community, which I've said now a million times. But it's also advertisers want to advertise on the stuff that you're doing. And if they have a feeling that nobody cares about what you're doing as a radio station, as a podcast, as a TV outlet, anything, when it comes to media, if they don't have that feeling that somebody's watching, why would they put their time and their money behind you? Because what they want is for people to watch you and then to catch that they're also advertising something. That's what they're paying for. They're paying for their name to somehow come up in front of your audience, and your audience want to buy from them. That's it. And if you aren't legitimizing yourself every single day, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Now, the other side of it is, okay, the whole Lunell thing, I'm 100% on Lunell's side. She did come out later and say that, maybe she was in a foul mood, but I don't care. I don't care that she was in a foul mood. I kind of feel like, please be logical about this. I'm promoting a project. You should be talking about me because me being there legitimizes your station. And I'm not talking about me as a person. I'm talking about somebody who has been in the business for decades. Lunell has been around since I was like a preteen. Lunell has been in the business. Uh, I remember when I saw her in tiny little roles. Like, do you remember the movie The Rock that had? Now I can't remember anybody's name, but they were all stuck on Alcatraz trying to escape, right? And they broke this prisoner out so that he could help them figure out how to get out of Alcatraz or get into Alcatraz because they'd been taken over by some soldiers who were. Lunell was in that, and it was such a small role, but still, she was just so funny from way back when. That was like 97, 98, and we're already in 2026. This woman has been around. So to have disrespected her was just like a false move on the part of the station. And honestly, I don't know how if they recovered because I didn't see an interview. I don't know if they do their stuff online. I just saw the part where Lunell was upset. Um, I also think it would have made Lunell could have pulled a Birdman. Do you remember when Birdman went on the Breakfast Club a few years back? Everybody turned it into a meme, turned it into a song, and Charlemagne and DJ Envy had said too much about Birdman. Now, in my mind, Birdman is a dangerous person, but he's not. He probably is not like in the way that I'm thinking. But he was upset, and he went on the Breakfast Club, and he said, "Put some respect on my name. All three of y'all, put some respect on my name." And the thing about it is, Charlemagne made so much fun of that poor man, and he's a tough guy. I mean, he's tatted head to toe. We all know his money is not. You know what I mean? Like, and he's been in it for so long, and he was so upset at Charlemagne, especially because Charlemagne is kind of a bully, kind of a troll, but he's good at it. So, what can I say? But the thing is, Birdman went in there. He was upset, and then he pretty much just took it. I mean, he came in with an entourage. He said what he came to say, and then they got up and bounced. And by the way, that moment was huge I'm gonna say in hip hop culture, in black culture. It just stayed because it was so unexpected, and it was kind of funny and kind of not funny, but it was kind of funny. And it stayed with us for a long time. Put some respect on my name, all three of y'all. I remember that we went through years where people were saying that. Years. Because that moment was iconic. I only wish that Lunell had done that. I wish that she had Birdman that station. Because that would have it would have been iconic. It's already making the news now. But if she had gotten up and walked away, chef's kiss, it would have been perfect. But I think she stayed. I think she softened and was like, okay, fine. Let's do this. I know that more interviews are going to come out of that for Lunell, and it's going to make that station look a little bit foolish unless she decides to be really kind to them. So the press work worked. It worked no matter what. But speaking of press work, we're going to be moving soon into the space of interviews. It's happening. That's just the way it goes. I already shot interviews for this year and I didn't like them, so we're doing it again. We're redoing that entire space. Um, but the thing about it is, if if you've gotten this far into me talking in your ear all morning, then I'm gonna just give you this little gem. If you're gonna go on somebody's podcast, if you're gonna go on somebody's radio station, on somebody's TV show to promote your stuff, you still got to do a level of promotion. You've got to tell people that you've got something coming down the line on your own stuff, on your own stuff, because you have no idea how well that podcast is going to be able to promote you. You don't know how well anybody's going to be able to promote you. So you should be doing your own self promotion of your own business. Tell your friends, tell your people, put it on your socials everywhere that you're doing this thing. And then that cross promotion helps blow everything up. If you decide to promote your event 10 minutes before your event, if you decide to tell your friends the day of that you're going on somebody's show, you've missed a whole opportunity to build up lots of momentum so that people are excited for you, because people will just show up just because they like you. By the way, try to have some people like you so people will show up just because they like you. And I mean, they show up to the promotion and then they show up to your events or to whatever it is you're doing. But you got to do some level of that marketing on your own. You can't just say, "Oh, well that's really huge," and they'll tell my entire story, because they can't. Uh, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes on a news station, 10, 15 minutes on a podcast, or an hour, whatever you have, is not enough to get your story as far as you probably want it to go. So, again, do a little bit of self-promotion. And at this point, you probably should be ready for work. I probably should be able to race you in and see you at the office. What do you think?